Peace, YouTube family. It's your boy Zay coming back at you another video. You dig? You know how we do. We get right into it. So this video, I want to talk, and this video is very important. So this is for any entrepreneurs or anybody that's thinking about starting up some that they've been thinking about starting for a minute, you know, and just trying to think about how to go about it. But the topic for today is stop marketing towards people you know. SMYR, and that stands for Strangers Make You Rich. You feel me? And the reason why I'm making this video is because I think and I did this when I first started my entrepreneurship journey as well. It's just because you expect, and of course going into it, I knew, like, I already had it in my mind that, you know, some people that I knew wasn't gonna really support what I was putting out there. You feel me? And let me just put this out of here. Nobody is obligated to support anything that you do. Nobody's obligated to do anything. Even if you may think like, oh, my friends, you would, like, of course that would like seem ideal, but they're not obligated to support whatever you putting out. So this whole video is just to get people to understand that majority of the people that you know won't tap in with your emotion until after people that you don't even know tap into it. I can tell y'all from experience, bro. I can tell y'all from experience. Point in case, right? I'm from Atlanta, and when I first started like releasing merch, it was a couple people in Atlanta that, you know, bought some things and whatnot. But majority, and don't get me wrong, I knew the people in South Carolina. I knew them, but I didn't grow up around them. I didn't know them until I started getting to college. You feel me? So my majority of my sales came from people in South Carolina, and I'm from Atlanta. So just off of that, when I started seeing that, I'm like, okay, like, and it wasn't nothing personal to it. I didn't take it to heart, none of that. It just, you have to understand that a lot of people only can see you in that light that they knew you in from the past. Regardless of how elevated you've become or you've grown, they can only see you from that lens of the past. And reason being, because a lot of these people, they haven't progressed themselves from that past version of themselves. So because they haven't did that within themselves, they're not able to do that with you, because they're thinking in their head, they're thinking like, the audacity of this person to try to, you know, do something different or branch out and whatnot, because that person themselves aren't able to do that in the fashion or in the manner that you're doing it, in a confident manner that you're doing it. So by default, that's just how people are. And you know how this is really just how it goes. Like, if you ever heard any of these people who got to a certain level of success and they talk about it, they always tell you, like, it was the people that they really didn't like. It was either the people they really didn't know or the people they kind of met later on in their life that was supporting them more than the people that they knew for like 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10 years. That's just how it would be, and that's just the reality of things. That's how that's how many people are, and that's just what it is, you know. So I want to put out information like this so people can be aware of it. So when they do run into contact with this, because you will, especially if you start up some on your own and you start putting it out, you're going to see that some of the people that you thought should be supporting you won't be the one supporting. And it's funny, I made a video about this about a year or two ago. You can probably scroll back through, and I was sitting like at a little desk outside, or like a little table outside. But I was talking about the same thing like a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. I was saying just basically the same thing I'm saying now. It's just, you have to get out that mindset of only wanting to market towards the people that you know. Because, okay, think about this. Out of all the people you know, whatever number that may be, it could be, let's just say, even if you knew, and it's rare for a person to know 5,000 people, but even if you knew 5,000 people compared to how many people is in the world, that ain't nothing. You feel me? That ain't nothing. And I just use 5,000 for example, but that's being generous on how many, because many people, like majority of people, if anybody like really like knows or has a network of 5,000 people, you dig? So even with that number, that's still small compared to the large number of people that's within this world. So you really have to pull yourself out of thinking that, oh, I can, my only target market is the people I know. Really, you don't want to be marketing towards those people. You really, I mean, you market towards them a little bit, but you only want to market towards them through bypassing, like as a byproduct of marketing towards the people outside of the people you know. Because I'm telling you, when people that, like, say for instance, like strangers or people on the other side of the country or other side of the world, they start rocking with your emotion, everybody that knew you, majority of everybody that knew you, gonna start rocking with your emotion, because it's popular to rock with it. It's the wave to rock with it, and they know you, and they can attach themselves to something that's flourishing. That's how people are. You know, we really have to, I think we really, especially if you're entrepreneurship or anybody that's moving into the space of being a creator or anything like that, you really have to start understanding how people move and how they are. And it's not to bring shame or judgment towards them, but it's just really having a true understanding and being okay with how this whole operation goes. Like, stop banking on support from the people you know. You feel me? Because when you bank, and I'm not saying nobody that you know will support you, but when you bank on that support from people you know and they don't support you, I find it oftentimes that people become so disappointed and unmotivated to continue on with their journey that they just stop, because the people that they was expecting to tap in with them wasn't tapping in. But you're not realizing that opens up the door for a whole nother demographic for you to focus on now. So you should be damn near thanking them like, okay, thank y'all for showing me what I need to see. I need to branch out and start marketing towards people that align with what I'm pushing out. Because just because you know that person ain't necessarily saying that, you know, that person is the right person for your target market. You feel me? That's just being 100. So we gotta get out of that mindset of thinking that people that we know are obligated to support whatever we putting out or whatever we doing. That's not the case. You know, like I said, you can market towards them and bypass them, but the people you know should not be your focus when you marketing your product, when you putting out your content, when you putting out your artwork, when you putting out whatever you putting out, if it's your service or anything like that. The people you know should really be like like I said, the bypassing of you marketing towards other people. You know what I'm saying? While you marketing towards other people, the people you know, oh, you do this, yeah, I do this, you know. But you don't want to directly focus on marketing towards them. You know what I'm saying? Because here's some other game. When you constantly marketing towards people you know, they get into the idea of feeling like you need them to succeed in whatever you're doing, because you're only marketing towards them. So they start to feel like they have the power to control how well you do and whatever you're doing. But when you're able to branch out and build up different target markets in different places, they start to see that you've built up value in other places, in other regions, or other areas, to the point to where they're starting to see like, oh, he or she don't really even need like the support of the people they knew from the past, because they're gaining this support from people that they've never met in their life. So when you start gaining the support of people that you never really met, or you've only known for a little bit of time, compared to people that you've known for years on years, they don't look at you through a judgmental lens, because they haven't known you for that long. So they're not attaching you, this current version of you, to that old version of you, because they don't know that old version of you. You feel me? A lot of people that knew you in your past, they can't help but to constantly revert you back to that old version of you, especially when you start to try to like excel and do different things and thrive. They automatically try to, oh, he was this, he was that, she was that, she was this, she used to move like that, he used to move like that. Some people can't help it, but that's just some people's nature. You feel me? And like I said, many people can't see themselves growing at that certain extent, to that certain degree, so they project how they feel about themselves and what they feel like they can do on other people, on the people that they know. So trust me, I understand, like it's at the beginning it's a little disheartening, but you get used to it, especially when you start to get support from other people outside of that immediate immediate web of people you know. You start to get support out of that. then you start to create a whole different web. And now what happens is those people that was within that web that you know, they start to trickle into that new web that you created to be a part of. And what happens is, I'm gonna leave out with this, what happens is when they enter in that new web, they try to wiggle their way to the center of the web, because they have the entitlement, like, oh, I knew you for so long, this and this and that. But it's like, no, once you wait till like it gets to that certain threshold and you knew a person in the past, that person doesn't have the right to be expecting that they, you know what I'm saying, skip the line in a sense, or, you know, get to reap the benefits of that new web that you created. You feel me? They got to get mixed in just like everybody else. You feel me? Now the ones that was supporting you from day one and really rocking with you, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate them, love them, and support them in whatever they venture out to do, because that's real support. You know what I'm saying? So quick little video, man. SMYR, strangers make you rich. Stop marketing towards the people you know. Peace.